în continuare este ultimul speaker, dar cel care este cireașa de pe tort. Pentru că despre investiții vorbește fiecare startup și de fapt este primul gând atunci când se gândesc cum să dezvolte ideea lor. Cel mai des auzim că fără investiții nu pot să fac afacerea. Dar bine, pentru a primi aceste investiții, deja trebuie să ai niște rezultate. Despre cum se investește în Moldova, despre ce oportunități au și cine sunt investitorii din spatele la Business Angels Moldova, vine să ne vorbească Anya Abchiche.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for organizing such an amazing event. I'm very happy to be here today. Just a small words about myself for those who don't know me yet. My name is Anya. I'm the executive manager of Business Angels Moldova. And today we are going to be talking about Business Angels Moldova. We're going to talk more about our mission, our goals, what we are doing, and what are our plans for the next year. So just a quick story so you can understand a bit more on how we ended up having the Business Angels Moldova Association. So I've been working with my team very closely with startups over all these previous years, and we all know that at some moment startups need investment so they can grow their business. They need investment so they can grow their team, so they can scale up, and so on. And the way usually local startups from Moldova do it is either to go abroad so they can get investments from venture capital firms or from other angel investors from the other countries. But then we noticed that there was a gap. So if there is a local startup willing to have some investment, then they always need to go abroad so they can get this kind of investments. So we wanted to break this gap and bring the investment opportunities here in the country made and done by our local investors. So before we jump into what we do within Business Angels Moldova, I would like to first have a quick explanation of what's a business angel. A business angel is a wealthy person who is ready to invest his own capital for businesses or for startups in their early stage of development. They usually get in exchange for convertible debts or ownership equity so they can support the startups on their early stage of development. In other words, when an angel investor is investing his own capital, he's getting a % of ownership from the business or from the startup itself. So then, as we said, most of the startups usually go to raise investment from venture capitals and not from angel investors. So then what's the difference between an angel investor and a venture capital? An angel investor, first of all, is an individual person, while a venture capital comes from a specialized firms. Another point is an angel investor is always investing his own capital, so he's investing his own money, comparing to a venture capital firms that are investing either people's money or their own company's capital, or sometimes both. Another point that angel investment can go, the ticket of an angel investors can go from $10,000 up to $100,000, or sometimes higher. It really depends on the country and on the market that the country has. Comparing to venture capitals that are usually having a way bigger ticket from $200,000 up to $5 million or $10 million as they invest in a more developed stage companies. So, usually an angel investor or a startup, when they are looking for raising angel investments, they usually either find them within their family members or their friends, or sometimes they also go in specialized organizations for angel investors. And this kind of specialized organization for angel investors works in this way. They usually meet regularly to review business proposals. They always have applicants and startups raising investments. They then select startup pitches that are ready to pitch their ideas and to pitch their business idea to these angel investors. They work together to conduct due diligence, to validate the plans and to validate the team as well. If there is an interest from an angel investor, then they decide whether to invest on this startup or no. And the members can usually invest individually, or they can also invest as a group. So they can then go ahead and mentor the company afterwards. So now that we are a little bit more familiar with what a business angel, what a business angel organization is doing, we can jump in what Business Angels Moldova is doing. So we basically wanted to have the same concept of business angels from other countries and to adapt it in our local reality. So Business Angels Moldova is a membership-based association uniting a group of experienced business people and top managers ready to invest their own capital in early-stage developments. So we have our own local angel investors that are ready to support in various ways. They either support through finances, through different resources, through experience sharing, and so on. Okay, so why are we doing that? We are doing all this because we want to drive and support successful and smart angel investing in the Republic of Moldova. We believe strongly in smart investments, and we want to have investments that bring value to the startups. So, we foster angel investing through different activities. We do it through communication, through networking events, through various educational events, and so on. And all our activities are based on 6 main pillars. So the first one is training early-stage investors and entrepreneurs. We have different educational programs focused only for investors that are willing to learn more on on how to become a better angel investor and how to understand, to scout startup and understand if there is a potential growth for these startups. We also believe in connecting local and international early-stage ecosystem. And the way we do it is through having cross countries experience sharing. So we usually invite some international angel investors that have a lot of experience in the domain, and they are always open to share with our local investors some tips and tricks on how they can become better angel investor. We also want to raise awareness on available investments in the country for our local startups. So whenever there is an opportunity or an investment ready for some startups, we are always here to talk about it and to highlight it. And in the same time, we want to support and promote all the local startups. So if there is a startup that is ready to raise investment, they contact us, and we are here to help them raise awareness about them. And of course, all this data and all the research we do while getting startups or scouting startups or making investment, we collect them so we can have a better understanding on the growth in the markets. So just for you to have a better idea on who are our angel investors. These are not all of them, but you can visit our website, businessangels.md, so you can see them. Some of them are very active in the association. They have various experience in different domains. For instance, we have Vladimir Balaban, we have Andrei Gradinari, we have Vitaly Patrosyan, and so on. These are all very successful entrepreneurs that are ready to help our local startups to give them investments and to help them as well with some experience sharing on their own, from their own experience. So our investors have different areas of interest. So they are interested in ed tech startups, in clean tech startups, in fintech, in game tech, and so on, and way many others. So if you are a startup working on developing a business idea towards this kind of industries, feel free to reach out to us because we have investors that are very interested in these topics. So you might be wondering why these investors are interested in joining the Business Angels Moldova as members. So they are usually interested because we offer them educational event when they can learn more about how they can become an investor. We offer them visibility because they need to be visible so that the startup knows about them. We offer them a network of international angel investors, or VC firms, or many experienced people that are willing to share their experience with them. We also help them in startup scouting. We all know that this process takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and we are here to do it for them. So if there is a startup applying, we scout them and we try to understand if there is a potential of investment from them. In the other way, we also help them in due diligence and in legal support if needed. When it comes to startups, they are also very interested in applying to our programs or getting in touch with our angel investors, and this because we offer them funding opportunities, we offer them co-working spaces due to the partnerships we have with TechWheel and iHub, so they can work in a good atmosphere. We offer them as well some mentorship sessions with our angel investors or with external experienced people. And of course, we offer them our investors network, which is one of the main interests of the startup, so they can have better discussions with investors and discuss potential investment, of course. So, just to have an idea on what were our activities during this previous year, our activities are based in 4 main areas. The first one is small events. The small events, as an example, is the deal dinner pitch event. This was an event where our startups just came in a very informal atmosphere to pitch their ideas to our business angels. And then after this event, they have, of course, the opportunity to get in touch with the investor to discuss more further if they can invest and if they can help them in another way. Okay, so the other point is the big events and the other type of activities we usually do. And one of the examples we have here is the first Investors Academy of Moldova. This was an academy where it was focused only for investors. So we brought international investors and international experts that dedicated 4 intense days so they can talk about investment and all the areas that can be surrounding this topic. So they help our local investors to get as much knowledge as possible and to get into the field of angel investing. The other activities we usually do is startup scouting. As I was saying, this is a very challenging and time-consuming task that we do on a daily basis. We always have applicants and startups that are looking for investment or looking for some help from our angel investors. So we work daily on that so they can get as much as possible from our network. And the last point is the investor onboarding. So we, of course, want to encourage more entrepreneurs and potential investors that are willing to invest their finances or their experience with our startups. So we always are open to any applications so we can develop a bigger community of investors in Moldova. So, through all these activities that we have been doing, we are very glad and happy to have achieved many goals of us. We had more than 630 applications until now from startups from the country with very different industries. We also have more than 15 active angel investors from very different industries as well that are willing to support. We have made until now 7 investments in 7 different startups from the country that are currently still working on developing and on raising their next stage. We also opened a legal association, which is Business Angels Moldova Association, so we can have a more formal way of working. We have also organized more than 13 workshops and events dedicated to our investors and to our startups, and we have organized the first Investors Academy of Moldova. So, of course, we are not willing just to stop right here. We have more plans for the next year and we have more goals to achieve. Some of them are to continue grow the angel investing community in Moldova by 150%. For the moment, as I was saying, we have around 20 investors, and we want to have, until end of 2022, around 15 active investors. We will, of course, continue developing the investing skills of our local investors. We will continue facilitate smart investments between the startups and our angel investors. And of course, we will continue mentoring and coaching all the startups that are willing to get help and offer them access to our Business Angels Moldova network. Some of the other goals that we have as well are to contribute to improvement of the legislation in the field of angel investing. So we will be working closely with the Minister of Finances or the government, so we can develop some interesting laws that can be helpful for making angel investing. We will also develop blended co-financing instruments to increase the invested amounts. We want to attract regional and international venture capitals for the next stage of financing. As I was saying, our business angels are ready to invest on early stage startups, but then when a startup would like to raise even more, we would like to have some venture capital firms from abroad that are willing to continue helping our local startups. And at the end, we want to continue grow our investments by 300% overall amount. So now you might be wondering how we are going to reach all these goals. We will continue making all the monthly workshops for our investors. We will, of course, have our educational events for the startups so we can help them continue developing their business. We will organize for the first time in Moldova the first investment summit in Moldova, where it's going to be a 2 full days event talking only about investments in the country. We will as well organize 2 more editions of the Investors Academy of Moldova, which is basically going to be focused only on growing the skills of angel investors. We want to create and develop more partnerships with regional venture capitals and incubator programs so our local startups can be part of them, and advocate work on legislation amendments. We want as well to participate in international conferences and pitching events so we can raise more awareness about our local startups and our angel investing community in Moldova. So now that you know more about what we do and what you are expecting to achieve for the next year, I would like to have a quick call to action. So if you are a potential investor, or if you are an entrepreneur willing to help more startups with finances or even with your own professional experience, feel free to go in our website, businessangels.md. You will have there a special form dedicated for investors where you can just fill it. It takes 2-3 minutes to fill it, and then our team is going to be contacting you for more information. And then when it comes to startups that are looking for funds or for investments, it also works in the same way. 3 very easy steps. You go on our website, businessangels.md, you apply on the form, and then we contact you for more information. So I would like to thank as well all the team that has been very dedicated on achieving all the goals we had until now, and all the next plans that we are going to have. My team is 4 people, Traian Chivriga, who is Executive Director, Olga Melnichuk, Eugenia, and myself. And of course, we would like to thank all our partners, because without them, this won't be possible. So thanks to TechWheel, to USAID, to the Swedish government, to XY, to Investiție, and to Startup Moldova. So yes, this was it for my session today. I hope you found as much information as possible. Please feel free to reach out to us if you are a startup looking for investment, and if you are a potential investor looking to invest in startups. Thank you.